Yo, so let's dive right into it. How to prevent from being manipulated. How do you prevent from being manipulated? Welcome to Disruptive Minds. I'm your host, Jerome A. Color, and the A stand for always learning. There's only one way, one surefire way to prevent from being manipulated, and that's to have a plan for your life. Done. It's a wrap. You got to have a plan for your life. You got to have a written down plan for your life. You have to write it down. You have to write it down. There's so many people who I've interacted with that tell me get everything up here. You can't have everything up here. It has to be a transference of energy. A transference of energy. You got to go from here to your arm down, and you have to write it out. This right here is not going to work. You can't type in your plan. Now, you can type it here because it's on your mind and you're busy. You don't got a piece of paper with you right then. Cool. But after that, you get that, and then you start writing your plan out. Where do you see yourself in 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 10 years, 20, 30, 40? Go out as far as you think you need to go out and start working your way backwards. That's the only way that I know of to prevent from being manipulated by any person, place, or thing, which is a noun. That's the only way I know to prevent from being manipulated, is to have a plan. Because when you have a plan in place, you know where you're going. All right, you got a roadmap. You know where you're going. Right. When you don't have a plan in place, you're just like, I just wake up and I go to work, and I just, the next holiday, the kids, work and life and football and holidays and New Year's, and here we are, Happy New Year's, manifesting, vision boards, all that, because you have no plan. So when somebody who comes along and see that you don't have a plan for yourself, they will make a plan for you. Let me say that again. When you don't have a plan for yourself, somebody will come along and make a plan for you. And people are like, I don't know how I got here. I don't know. They trying to do this and trying to do that and da-da-da-da. If you had a plan, they wouldn't be able to do anything to you. But as soon as it went against your plan, you'd be like, nah, I'm not doing that. Well, the way they were talking to me and blah, blah, blah. But your plan would have been like, this doesn't fit my plan. The answer is no. But they kept asking, the plan answers no. Like me. I'm going to take me as an example. Purpose, aim, and mission, which is PAM. I talk about PAM all the time. That's what I am on right now. Purpose, aim, and mission. When I talk about being a mental health advocate for men, particularly black men, that is my purpose, aim, and mission. Period. Anything outside of that is going to take me away from that, distract me from that, or remove me from that is not going to happen. That is my plan that I have written out. Mental health advocate for black men. That's a plan. This is where I want to be in a year from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now. I have that plan already here and on here. So every decision I make on a day-to-day basis has to fit within that plan. Because PAM, purpose, aim, and mission, because PAM, purpose, aim, and mission, because PAM, purpose, aim, and mission is going to make sure that I'm continuously on this purpose, aim, and mission. So if somebody comes along, they try to manipulate me, man, you need to relax a little, or maybe let's go do this, or it's football season, and you working so hard, and I'll be like, all right, let me pull out my sheet, let me pull out my goal list and show you this is where I need to be. Oh, wow, man, that's a lot. Yeah, it is. I got a lot to do. You work so hard. You're right. I'm trying to get to something now when I'm still able-bodied and not sick, and I'm trying to get to that point as quick as I possibly can, because I know the more energy I put toward that point, the faster that point's going to come to me. The faster I run, the quicker I get to the finish line. I'm not distracted with the audience and popcorn and hot dogs and everything else going on. I need to be focused on that. Oh, man, that's stressful. Then you're not the person who needs to be around me then. See, that's something that people want other people around them, but at the same time, they also don't. Let me say this. How can I say this? You want people around you, but at the same time, you want to accomplish goals that those people are not trying to accomplish. That's what I'm trying to say. If your goals and their goals are not the same goals, and those people do not need to be around you, I don't care who they are, family or friends, or religion. Let's talk about reps. Since I'm on this focus, it's called Get Focus. That's a course that I offer. It's called Get Focus. It's going to break down your religion, environment, people, and social media. All four of those things are my foundations of me. It's the foundations of you. Your religion, environment, people, and social media. That's your foundation. If those four things are not having you focused on your plan or have you focused on your PAM, that's a problem. That's a problem. You need to correct that problem. And that's why you're being manipulated. That's why you're being manipulated. Because it's easy for them to knock you off because you're not firm on your plan. You're not firm on your PAM. You're not focused. That's why the course is called Get Focused. You're not focused. So it's easy to knock you off if you're not focused. A tree with small roots is easily pushed over. Your roots are small. So it's easy for somebody to come along. They see you're sort of distracted and you're just day to day. I go to work, I take care of my kids, or I go to work, I come home, I just watch TV or Netflix, or I'm watching this online, and they're like, oh, okay. You don't think people see that and understand that, and they're watching for people like that? And then you're wondering why they manipulated me. How do they manipulate you? They were just telling me all this stuff. Yeah, but you should have known. But see, that makes people, they're not thinking. You should have known when you're hearing, oh, they make me do this, that, and the other. Do you want to do that? No. Then why are you doing it? I don't know. Because you have no plan. I don't know. You have no plan. If you had a plan, nobody can knock you off your shit if you got your plan. Nobody can knock you off of it. It's your plan. You sat down, you wrote it out, you're looking at it, you're reflecting on it, you're making steps, you're doing points, you're goddamn there diagrams and everything else, and all these things are focused on you getting to this certain goal. And you think, if you did all that work, that you're going to let somebody come in your life and knock it off? It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. But when you don't have that, and your plan is up here, and you have other things on your mind, and you want to do this, I want to work on this, I may want to move, I don't know if I want to move, I want to drive trucks, I'm going to maybe go to school, I got these beats I'm working on, I'm doing a little YouTube over here, I'm doing some TikTok, and you're all over the place. Oh, it's easy for somebody to come in and infiltrate that and start manipulating you. It's easy. Lord forbid you have a vice, which is what? One of the 5 coping skills I talk about: sex, alcohol, drugs, food, and work. Oh, it's a wrap. If you're going through life with the 5 coping skills, sex, alcohol, drugs, food, and work, one of the 5, Lord forbid, 2 of the 5, you're going to be knocked off quick. Quick. You're going to be knocked off. Because you're coping with something you need to fix, which goes back to religion, environment, people, and social media, back to your reps. Something needs to be fixed. You're coping with something. You need to fix that so that you can get a solid foundation, so you can get on a plan, so you can stop being manipulated. It's not rocket science, but it's going to take time, effort, and energy, which most people don't want to do. And here we go, back on the merry-go-round. So help me to help you to help us. You want to stop being manipulated? Get a plan for your life. Write down your plan for your life. Write it down. Where do you want to be in a year, 2 years, 5, 10? Write it down. Sit somewhere quiet. Write it down. Whether it's you're sitting in your car, whether you're at home, whether you're at the kitchen table. I don't care where you are. But it needs to be on a piece of paper somewhere. You can type it into your phone, but it needs to be on a piece of paper somewhere. And you need to be able to go back and look for it. So don't just write on the back of a notebook that you've been using for phone numbers and recipes for cookies or something like that. No. Because you're going to be looking for it and be like, I don't know where it is. Get you a clean notebook Like $2, $3. Get your pen, write your plan down for your life. As long as you have a plan, it's hard for people to knock you off your plan. Is it 100%? Of course, nothing's 100%. 95%. Why am I so sure on 95%? Because 95% of your day is controlled by your subconscious mind. So that means people only have 5% to try to manipulate you. 95% is controlled by your subconscious mind. They only have 5% to try to manipulate you. I'll take that all day, every day. All day, every day, I'll take a 95.5. So once your subconscious is locked in to your plan, it's going to start guiding you to that direction of your plan. And when people try to come in and manipulate you, whether it be family, friends, mom, dad, whoever, it's not going to work. Because now the subconscious is locked in. You have a plan. And if it's on a higher level than a plan, which I call PAM, purpose, aim, and mission, oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So if you're on your purpose, aim, and mission, that's on some whole other level stuff. What did 50 Cent say in that one song? This is God plans, homie. This ain't mine. When you on that level, that's a whole other level. Ain't nobody knocking you off at that level. This is God plan, homie. This ain't mine. That's a whole other level. That's that purpose, aim, and mission. That's that PAM. 50 cents on that PAM. Purpose, aim, and mission. This is God plans, homie. This ain't mine. Everybody don't got to be on that high of a level to not be manipulated. You can just have a regular plan for your life or where you want to be. The purpose thing is another level. A plan level is the base level. That's the base level that you use so you cannot be manipulated. 95% of the time, every day, you cannot be manipulated. Will that 5% work in every now and then again? Yeah, it's part of life. But then you go right back into your 95% and you just keep it pushing. Now, if you don't want to go through the process, you don't want to go through the steps, you just want it to be easy, or you're already in a manipulative situation, there's really not a whole lot you can do. You can start guiding yourself by writing a plan out. Yes, you can start doing that. Start writing a plan. But then you got to start planning also an exit strategy from that situation, which may take longer for your plan to go into place. But don't you write it down? See what I'm saying? It gets a little bit more complex, confusing. But once you write it down, it makes it a lot easier because now your brain can say, okay, this is what I need to do to get out of this situation where I'm being manipulated. Then I need to make a plan for my life and then start going from there. But you have to make that decision. Some people don't want to have a plan for their life. Believe it or not, they don't. They don't want to plan because that's when they got to be disciplined. They don't want to be disciplined. They don't want to be consistent. They don't want to be accountable. They don't want that. So it's easier for them to just be like, oh, this is the reason why I can't do it. They rather do that than really disciplined, accountable, and consistent. I make it as easy. This is the easiest way you're going to get away from being manipulated. It is not rocket science. You don't need to go to therapy and this, that, and the other. I just told you that. I just told you how to get away from being manipulated. I just told you how to stop being manipulated. You'd be like, no, you need to go to therapy and find out why you're being manipulated and what childhood traumas you went through and why you're doing the things you do. What? You don't need all that right now. Deal with that later. Right now, we need to take action to get this thing done. When the fire department shows up to a house that's on fire, they're not like, oh, what's causing this fire? No, they're trying to put the fire out and stop it from spreading to other dwellings or the yard or the trees. They're not trying to be like, oh, so they don't show up and be like, well, how did the fire start? They're not standing there watching this building burn or this house burn. Like, well, how did it start? What did you do? What were you doing? No, they're putting the fire out. That's what you're trying to do. You're like, okay, I'm being manipulated. I need to put this fire out. What do I need to do? Start writing down what I need to do to get away from this situation or relationship. Put the fire out first. Then you work on the plan. This is the plan. You want to go to therapy. You think therapy is going to just have you talking in circles for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and you're like, well, yeah, my mom was like this. This is why people come and manipulate me, and I want to work on some things. And what? And the therapist is telling you all these words, and you're like, you're right. That's the reason why this is happening. It's some childhood trauma. And then you leave from the therapist, and now you're on some childhood trauma thing in your mind of why you're being manipulated, why you're still being manipulated. So what are you going to do? Huh? Some coping skills they're going to give you? Or they're telling you how to stop from being prevented? Or they're telling you how to write down your thoughts? Write down how to stop? No. Well, just tell them that you understand what's going on and this is a very uncomfortable situation. No! Stop the fire. That's not stopping the fire. That's just putting a little bit of water on it. And it's still blazing. I need you to take immediate steps to stop the manipulation. On paper, write it down so that you understand what you need to do. This whole thing about it's just therapy for everything. Therapy's not needed for everything. I said it before in one of my other videos. Majority of men do not need therapy. They just need to sit down and think. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just a talking head on the internet. I'm out.